Learning how to use sandbags to protect your home and business and reduce the impact of flooding is a valuable skill to help you be prepared. During emergencies, the SES and other emergency services are in great demand and must prioritise calls for assistance. So rather than rely on the emergency service for help, it's important that you are ready and prepared for a disaster event. This do-it-yourself sandbagging video will show you how to fill, lay and use sandbags in and around your property to minimise the impact of flooding, as well as demonstrate safe disposal methods.
Why should you sandbag? Sandbags will not stop the water completely, but can significantly reduce the amount of water entering the property. As sandbags divert water to other places, take care when laying sandbags to avoid water runoff to other vulnerable locations in your property or neighbouring properties. Sandbags can also be used to block backflow of grey water from drains in bathrooms and laundries and air vents. Where can I purchase sandbags? Sandbags are made from different materials, including hessian fabric and also polypropylene material, and can generally be purchased from a local hardware store or garden landscape supplier. Some councils may have the names of suppliers on their website under Disasters and Emergency Preparedness. Most standard homes can be protected with less than 25 sandbags. During times of heavy flooding, sandbag distribution points may be established in flood-affected areas. But it's important to remember that during times of significant flooding, sandbags may be in limited supply, so it's a good idea to have bags and sand stored at home, especially in flood-prone areas. Storing sandbags. To avoid deterioration, it is best to store sandbags under cover and away from direct sunlight. How to fill sandbags. It is best to use sand rather than soil unless necessary, as soil does not create the same seal. Always use gloves, and when shoveling, position the bag and yourself to avoid twisting and potential back injury. Using a bottomless plastic flower pot as a funnel may make filling easier. Sandbags should only be filled to 2/3 of their capacity. A filled sandbag can weigh 15 to 20 kilos and will be too heavy to move if filled beyond this weight. The top of the bag may be tied for transport, but must be untied before laying. Laying sandbags. Prepare the area by laying down plastic sheeting where possible. This will reduce the seepage of water through the sandbags. Sandbags should be laid like brickwork, starting at one end and working to the other end. Ensure the unfilled part of the bag is covered by the next bag. Tuck the flap under the bag at the end of each row and stagger the rows so that the joins do not line up. Flattening the top of the sandbag row before adding the next row will help make the structure more stable. Stack at least 2 sandbags high across. Additional layers may be needed depending on the expected flood height. The same sandbagging method is used when protecting garages and sliding doors. Use duct tape to secure plastic to the doors and make sure you have at least one doorway you can use to access the property. For outward-facing doors, this can be done by building a wall in a semicircle to allow the door to still be opened. Always take care around floodwater, as it can contain hidden dangers such as trees, toxic chemicals and sewage. Even shallow water can move quickly enough to knock you off your feet. Sandbagging drains and air vents. Cover drainage holes in your property, including your toilet, shower, laundry, bath and drains, to stop backflow of contaminated water. Air vents between brickwork will also require sandbags. Small vents may be covered with waterproof tape, such as duct tape. Safe sandbag disposal. Sandbags that have been exposed to floodwater need to be disposed of safely and should not be reused. Always use gloves when handling sandbags that have been in contact with floodwaters. Contact your local council for advice on how you can dispose of used sandbags. Important points to remember. Floodwaters can be dangerous. Safety must be your first priority. Source sandbags from your local hardware, garden or landscape supplier. Be prepared. Know where to get sand and bags and keep them stored if in a flood-prone area. Fill bags 2/3 full only. Lay sandbags like brickwork. Block drains and vents in your property. Dispose of sandbags responsibly. It is best to wear protective gloves and closed-in footwear. Don't forget to spread the word to your neighbours, friends and family, especially the elderly, to ensure they have the information and supplies needed to be prepared too. As the property owner, use your local knowledge and past flood events to decide whether you need to sandbag your home, move your belongings to a safe place, or evacuate your property. Check the website of your local council or the Bureau of Meteorology for current weather warnings, and listen to your local radio station for flood information. For more details on sandbagging, as well as information about storms, floods, and how to be better prepared for emergencies, visit the Queensland Disaster website. Download a sandbagging brochure under Disaster Resources or check your local council website.
By helping yourself, you free up the SES to help those most at risk. If a person is vulnerable or at risk of flooding and cannot prepare and lay their own sandbags, please call the SES on 132 500 for emergency assistance.